Jihad is a very wide concept. The word means struggle. In religious terms, that is common word in Christianity, in all the religions. We are commanded to struggle against our own selves, our weaknesses. So jihad begins with the individual. It is not against anybody else, it is against my own evil self. We are all aware that we have got two voices. A voice that prompts us to do good, another voice that says, that is attractive, go for it. Now, that kind of, in religious terms, that is called, in Islam it's called taqwa, be mindful of God all the time. And I think Christianity has got, it's called bearing witness to it. So the terms are different, but the idea is the same, that you have to stand witness to the truth and the command that God has given. And the first, you start with your own self. You purify yourself, develop an awareness and a consciousness that there is an evil within that one has to fight all the time. The struggle does not end at any point in time. As long as you live, the struggle goes on. Then when we move out of the personal self, then there's society. There's something wrong in society. There is poverty, there is disease, there is exploitation. So as a believing person, it is my duty, and I think whether you're Christian or a Buddhist or Hindu, we share our ideas in the faith leaders group. I don't think we have any difference of opinion on this. We have to struggle against wrong wherever it is. Now that is jihad. The last part of jihad is the armed struggle. In Islamic ideology or Islamic law, that is not the prerogative of individuals. An individual is forbidden to wage armed struggle. It is the prerogative of a state. And the state has got great responsibility in this regard. There are set rules. The leader of a state has to weigh whether he is in a position to wage a successful armed struggle, to replace a bad order with a good order. And if he cannot do that, he is not obliged to have declare a state of war. Then he must always also be in a position that he will create an order, not a disorder, after having waged a struggle. Now these are the rules of the game. And as I said, no individual can, and there is no difference of opinion in any school of law amongst the Muslim community. And that's what my argument is with the Hizb ut-Tahrir and people like that. How can you have waged individual jihads? And that I don't think is well known, because I collected all the Muslim scholars representing every school of thought, and we issued a fatwa, which I will give you a copy of, that destroying civilian lives is forbidden in Islam. And we said further that anybody who is contemplating, being engaged in this kind of activity, ought to know that this would be against Islamic law. We sent it to everybody, and it was not printed, except the police, civil police here. They were very pleased with that fatwa. They put it on their website.
What you're saying paints a very reasonable picture of Islam. Do you think, in denial about Muslim terrorism?
I am not denying that there could be a person who is off his mind or mentally disturbed and he does something stupid. Now that can happen, but I do not think that there is any movement in the Muslim community to engage in this kind of activity. I've never heard of Al-Qaeda in my life, and I'm aware of all the Muslim movements in different countries, whether it's Middle East or Indonesia. I've never heard of Al-Qaeda. So who these people are, the only source through which we know these people is CIA. And CIA is not a true witness. If CIA was in a court of law, it will be dismissed as unreliable witness.